I'd had my right hip labrum repaired like about a year, probably a little over a year before we met, and gone through the rehabilitation process, but still was dealing with some hip pain. And getting out of the car was painful. Getting up from sitting at dinner with my family was painful. Like just walking in the house was painful. And I had kind of gone to a point where I was like, is this my life now? I'm just going to have hip pain. The moment I realized I needed to do things differently was back at the doctor's office. He suggested that maybe I should go back into physical therapy for the hip pain. And I just knew in my gut and my heart, like there wasn't anything more that could have been done in that setting that I didn't already know how to do or was doing. And I just felt like there's something else. And I did not know what it was, but I kind of left there feeling a little bit defeated. And I didn't know what the next thing was going to be. I didn't know what it was at that point. Literally that same day that I had met the doctor, I was on Instagram and one of your posts came by and it described like, are you in pain? Have you tried all the things? Could it be something else? It was like the same thing that I have been like I felt in my gut. And so I reached out, to do the discovery call. And I admittedly was a little bit skeptical because it was online and not in person. But I felt like after talking to you, what did I have to lose? Like I had already done all the things that I knew how to do. And you were offering something new. So now I am pain-free. I can do all those basic things. I can remember thinking if I could just walk around my house without pain, like that would be victory. And I'm happy to say that I can do that plus a lot more. Like I've been on several ski trips with my family since joining the program and had zero pain skiing. I'm just able to be active with my family and exercise. There are, I wouldn't say that every once in a while I don't have a little bit of pain for whatever reason, but I'm just much better equipped to handle pain. I don't fear it anymore. Things that in the program that really helped me were learning about chronic pain and how there's a nervous system component and a mind-body component. And that really was a mind-blowing lesson or education piece that I don't think a lot of people, even clinicians, know about or are practicing. And that was the thing that was missing. And I was so primed to hear it because I had tried everything else that it was like a huge light bulb moment. So really the nervous system components of the course were the things that really got me on the path to healing for sure. I would say that advice for other women who are looking to get out of hip pain is that there is hope. It's not a life sentence. If you've tried all the things and you're still looking for something, one of the conversations my husband and I had, like a year from now, will I regret not having at least tried this program, considering the road that I had been on the year previously and didn't really get as far as I wanted to. It just felt like it was a no-brainer when we looked at it that way. Like, a year from now, will I wish that I have done it and give it a shot? And the answer was yes. And the result was, I'm so glad that I did. If you're someone who's feeling skeptical, I also felt a little skeptical. And one of the reasons was because it was virtual. I remember we talked about like, how are we going to do this? Not in person. It felt like there was potential for it to not be personalized or personable. And that is the opposite of the way it is. It is very personalized and very personal, and even more so than, that I have experienced in that in-person setting with physical therapy. The ladies in the program are so knowledgeable and are really invested in your success and your empowerment in a way that I've never experienced in like any kind of care model before. Well, I remember the first big thing was the first ski trip I took, and it felt like up until like the week before, I was still having pain. And I was really scared to go on the trip and not be able to enjoy it. And I got back from that trip and I was like, Jessica, I had zero pain whatsoever, which was really just amazing. Because how can you ski down a mountain and have no pain, but stand up from your kitchen table and have pain? Like it was like the evidence that I needed that like that this was a chronic situation. The mind body part component was really driving my pain. So that was like that education plus that like physical evidence was a huge milestone. So through the program, working on my nervous system regulation, I just didn't realize that how high strung of a level I was operating at all the time, which I felt like was a normal. This is just how this is my calm. This is calm up here, up here. And I thought that was it. I thought that was as like regulated you could be. And it didn't allow me to like show up with my children the way that I wanted to or that I thought that I was. Like being able to help them go through their hard things, I would try to push them past their hard things quicker. Like almost like looking back, it almost seemed like a song and dance routine to like get them past their hard times. But now I can see that they needed to process that hard time and they needed someone who had the capacity to let them do that and a space to do that. And through going through this program, I've learned how to handle my own stress. And so now I really, for the most part, am at a level that is calm and grounded. And so when they are going through hard times, I have the capacity to hold that space for them, to let them go through it and come out the other side, which is really what we want. That's really what we want them to be able to do. Of course, we don't want them to have pain or go through hard times, but that's not life. And so they're going to be able to handle stressful situations better because of that. And that is a huge parenting win that I did not know was going to come from this course. But I am so glad it did. I think that's it, except for that, I just want to say thank you so much to you and Molly and Jen for pursuing a different way of doing things on your end that allows us a different way of doing things on our end that leads to like lifelong healing. I'm just super grateful.